Hello, everyone, and welcome to another CineQuest video. Today, we're going to be reviewing the new, highly anticipated horror movie. I don't even want to hear it from you. Starring Nicolas Cage and Micah Monroe, Longlegs. So, Longlegs stars Micah Monroe as a detective. What's her name? Lee Harker?
Special Agent Lee Harker of the FBI, of the FBI.
And then we have Nicolas Cage as the serial killer Longlegs.
An elusive serial killer.
Eponymous Longlegs.
Yes, and according to IMDb, this is the synopsis it has. In pursuit of a serial killer, an FBI agent uncovers a series of occult clues that she must solve to end his terrifying killing spree. Dun dun.
The Law and Order sound.
So,
of course, why not?
In case, I mean, like, I kind of wanted to figure we should preface this before. Like, we're not going to worry about spoilers or any of that shit. You should, if you're listening to this, you should have already seen this damn movie. Okay?
No.
That's what I agree with.
No,
man.
say yes.
Why are you going to do a fucking review?
No, hold on. Stop.
Oh, come on.
There was a specific thing I wanted to do, and that is
all
we're
right.
going to talk about the movie very generally, give our ratings, and then we're going to go into a
into a rant. Excellent.
Spoiler rant, and then Bryce has some things that he may need to get off his chest regarding the movie, and maybe it's future, maybe it's sequel, maybe it's prequel. I don't know. He's going to like entice us with this. Yeah, you too. Fine, good, great.
We'll see.
So, right off the bat, it is a horror movie. This was probably one of the most highly anticipated films. I know for Bryce, for sure.
Of the month.
I was excited for. Yeah, well, some stuff coming out. Yeah, I mean, there's other stuff coming out this year. Yes.
There's been a lot of good shit this year. It's still coming.
Absolutely right. But I was watching all the trailers. This guy was like, "Oh, I can watch them.
I will say that I did not watch any trailers. At any time, I would see just an inkling of the detective Lee Harker, Mike Monroe's character, coming through the plastic. I would like. And what movie did I go
Avert your eyes, child.
I saw. I went to go. I went to go watch Kinds of Kindness.
Like,
yeah, and the trailer came up. I didn't. Oh no!
Yeah, you were doing the. You were doing the Nicolas Cage. You were going. Like,
I closed my eyes. I was like. So I tried to avoid as much as possible. I know, Bryce.
To be fair, I wonder
you were watching a lot of the trailers.
Yeah, but to be fair, I wonder if a lot of because I was excited about it, and maybe I was looking at stuff. I feel like there's a lot of shit on my feed that was like constantly every commercial or preview on YouTube, Instagram always seems like it was. I was like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, I want to see this movie, but
to be fair, it was on my feed as well. But I mean, I know.
Didn't they leave it intentionally vague as far as the trailers go, and like the like the media like advertising, wasn't that something? I think I read somewhere that was kind of something that worked against it, in that more people didn't necessarily know about it. But
well, I mean, the
intention was mostly just to keep it,
the more the less you know about this movie, the better,
right?
Personally speaking, because I mean, I personally enjoyed it more not knowing like any other details about it. I mean, granted, some stuff slipped by. It's not that I couldn't avoid everything entirely, but to deliberately put myself in a position where I actually saw the entire trailers, I did not. I refused to. And any images, any reviews, even I bought the recent Rue Morgue, which has the main article is about Longlegs, or an interview with again writer director Oz Perkins. Is that did
you not read that? It didn't really.
Hold on, no. I read it after I watched the movie.
Oh, really?
I read it after I watched the movie.
You fucking asshole! You told me you read it.
No, I didn't read it beforehand. I read it afterwards. No, I didn't.
That fucking article didn't say shit, dude. It didn't tell you anything. I told him, it's like, just read it. It doesn't say anything about it. It doesn't tell you anything.
No. I didn't want to taint anything about this movie. All right.
Oh, no taints here.
No taints.
It must remain untainted.
I mean, according to the great Pornholio, no taints were harmed in the making of this podcast.
No.
Right?
The ass ball connector is
Roland. This guy right here would have like rather pluck his own fucking eyeballs out and wait till the movie released and have Elon Musk give him like cybernetic eyes so he can like watch it, then fucking see the trailer, dude. That's how much like this fucking guy.
Was I gonna get a Tesla truck
in his eyeballs? Yeah,
a Tesla truck in honor of doing this like have this,
and
like,
then they would have
be the guinea pig in this.
Then they'd have a recall or whatever. Oh, you want to be one of those fucking... Sorry, guy. Actually, aren't they right now? They're like low key telling people, "Oh, you got to send your Cybertruck back so we can." I mean, not Cybertruck.
They're everywhere though, dude.
I forget if it's the Cybertruck or if it's the fucking Tesla cars. I think it's the truck that they're like, you might want to look into like replacing the engine pretty soon. Yeah.
They're going to say like the batteries that powers like the solar panels.
No, the whole fucking engine.
It would have been like he had to get his eyes recalled because like, oh, for some reason they're not picking up Nicolas Cage for some reason. They're like, oh no,
I can't really see him. Can I get a refund of the movie and a refund
on these eyes?
For these eyes,
my cyber eyes,
and kind of like a new sound system in my Cybertruck, please?
Yeah, sure. Let me just help you on over here to this. Let me come with me to this room here on the side where we have the rest of these silly monkeys that fucking signed up for this procedure.
We mentioned that writer director Oz Perkins. He is the son of Anthony
Osgood.
Yes. Son of Anthony Perkins, who is of course, the star of Psycho. You know.
Hold on. Every time I heard Osgood Perkins, I keep fucking saying his name the whole time watching because I was explaining to my parents, like, Osgood Perkins, he's the son of Anthony. Every time I said Osgood, I keep thinking of Oswald Cobblepot and fucking.
Yeah, that's throwing me off. Yeah,
I kept thinking of Danny DeVito and shit. I'm like, no, it's Osgood, not Oswald.
Bryce, again, like I said, this was a very highly anticipated film. What did you think of Longlegs?
I liked it a lot. I'll say I loved it quite a bit, actually. There was a bit of a twist on it, not necessarily the plot wise, but
what does that leave, dude?
No, I can't say. Well, because I can't really
be vague.
No, I can't. I can't even be vague. Well, there was a twist in terms of like I wasn't expecting how much.
You can say
I don't know. I can't. Okay, yes. How much of the supernatural is going into this?
Yes.
Versus just like a normal human doing shit. Which
I was
a little surprised by that because I was, a lot of the reviews on this movie is like, oh, it's like hasn't been a detective movie or serial killer movie since Silence of the Lambs. So I was like, oh, okay, well, Silence of the Lambs is just a straight up serial killer movie, but there was a little bit of like supernatural in it, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Somewhat. It gets a little esoteric in like what they treat like psychoses or something. I forget. I'm thinking of actually not Silence of the Lambs. Well, yeah, actually Silence of the Lambs. But I'm when I say that, I'm thinking more of the second one. Which has
Red Dragon?
Yeah. Is that no? Is it a prequel? The one with Pig Boy, or was it?
Yes.
Is that Hannibal?
Where they push him over in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't remember the name of the.
I thought was that Hannibal?
It's Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, and then
Hannibal. Yes, Hannibal.
Yeah, Hannibal. I never saw Red Dragon. That one was a prequel, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
And the TV series I never bothered with either, but I liked Hannibal. Yeah, I'm thinking of Hannibal, Pig Boy.
What about you, Roland, or Great Pornholio? What did you think of Longlegs? And you said you saw it today, yes?
Yeah, I went to watch it.
The review.
Did you go by yourself?
Yeah, of course. I wasn't there was quite a lot of people in the theater, which kind of bummed me out.
Practically reviewing it in the theater right now.
I was kind of bummed out to see people there. I was like, oh, damn it.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah.
I only laughed at a few things because of that, because I was like, oh, there's like, why are there kids here? This is weird.
Oh, dude.
I was looking at some of the parents like, why the fuck?
Hey, man, I saw. Did I tell you when I went to go see Cocaine Bear, the fucking 10 o'clock showing Cocaine Bear? Someone was bringing their fucking 4 and 5-year-old.
Yeah, dude. I saw a lady walking out with two of her kids. She was carrying one in her arms. He was passed out. Dude, yeah, exactly. Like 5-6-year-olds.
That's fucking terrible.
I don't know.
I was weird. That was a little strange, but like so I'm a little mixed on this. I did see the trailer. So I was expecting some kind of supernatural silliness, or hoping for it, really. Because I guess you wouldn't know this, Ray, because you didn't see the trailer. But
I saw the trailer after the fact. After watching the movie, I saw the trailer.
That doesn't count, Ray.
Yes, I know. Whatever. I saw it. Eventually, I saw it.
When the girl brings out the, book with the 9 circles of hell, it's like, oh, okay, here we go.
Well, my whole thing with that is it says it's an occult serial killer. Well, that can mean anything. The guy just into the cult. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's like fucking whatever. I'm not even fucking saying it, but to me, it's like that doesn't necessarily mean that the supernatural. It just maybe the guy's really, because it brought up a lot of reminded me a lot of fucking Seven. The guy was into Seven Deadly Sins, but that doesn't mean that there was like he was bringing on the wrath of God to people. No. He was just a guy he was obsessed with the Bible and shit or whatever.
This movie did make me think of, when I was watching it, I was like, what kind of things do I think back to this? And Seven was there. I was also thinking of, because of Nick Cage, I was thinking of, is it Mandy? I think.
Oh yeah.
I know why you're saying that.
Yeah.
Exactly why.
I'm interested to hear.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Because there's another character that he reminds me of when he does. Anyways.
Yeah. Actually, I got a few other ideas, but there was one. Oh, and of course, because of the obvious, it's got a little bit of Michelle Remembers sprinkled in there.
The Satanic Panic stuff.
Yeah, the Satanic Panic stuff was pretty flagrant in this, even though it no, it goes to the 70s, so it would have gone through that shit. I was gonna say, even though it like mostly takes place in the 90s, which at that point is, I guess it's a bit more died down, but apparently there's still some.
I think it's still there
for sure.
What gave it away? The poster of Bill Clinton on the
in the cops office. Yeah, dude, that was so funny. The giant goddamn picture. That's silly.
With nice crate of cigars.
I guess one of the main things that showed how it sat in the period between the 70s and the 90s again was like the cars. Like, I guess that really sort of was what, and maybe the wall paneling on some of like the bar, and of course the cop. You
talking about the family truckster from fucking Family Vacation that he was driving around in? That's what it reminded me of. The car from Family Vacation or Vacation.
So for the most part, I liked this movie, but I do have like quite a few criticisms of it. I think the hype surrounding it was, as is all hype with these fucking movies, it's bullshit.
That's what I was telling. That's what I was telling Ray. It's like I enjoyed it a lot, but
not because it was like, oh my god, I can't watch. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Well, I heard somebody fucking say it was top scariest movie of the decade. I was like, of the decade of 10 years. I was like, I don't know about that.
No, I don't know what other movie is out there that's better, but I'm sure it exists.
Yeah, I mean, like 10 years is a big stretch. Yeah, the hype. But a lot of movies nowadays, that's all they do is just hype the shit out of everything, and it's insane.
So I did enjoy this. I think the movie. Okay, so the movie was an hour 40 minutes. I think this could have been done in like an hour 20, hour 15. I feel like there's stuff in here that was like, what is that? What's that for? Or like, who's the point of this? Is that like foreshadowing for like later down the line, or just like little things that were kind of silly. I mean, not as like a spoiler necessarily, but I suppose it sort of is. Here's an easy one that I don't think is going to give anything on the story, but when Longlegs is actually discovered, by the feds, and he's just standing in the middle of the road with his guitar and a fucking busted ass, briefcase.
Yeah.
And the cop goes up, or the Fed goes up to him, and he's like, what does he say? I need you to put your fucking hands behind your back. Or no, I need you to get the fuck on the ground. That's what he said. I just laughed.
Yeah.
Like, because the guy was just front and center. He just walks up to the fucking middle of the camera. I need you to get the fuck on the ground.
Yeah.
Like,
not even really like in a loud or intimidating voice.
No.
Just, like, very matter of fact.
Put his hands to his side and shit. Yeah. Like, oh man. It was I feel like there was a lot of camp in this. Even though it wasn't probably intended to be that way, because of the way it's shot. It's very serious and very like, there's a lot of like atmosphere and like very heavy sort of, I don't know, feeling to each of the scenes. I guess, because it might have a bit to do with, because like they do a pretty good job with the, I guess, the sound effects and stuff for this. It gets a little loud at times. It kind of pisses me off. But like for the most part, I think they do a good job of like taking advantage of like those like quiet moments. You know, like there's like for the most part, with like one or two a few exceptions, there aren't like any points in this movie where there are a lot of people on screen. Like it's usually always like one or two, three people, you know, 3 people tops kind of thing.
I think the most people that were on screen was whenever all the cops were together.
Yes, yeah, that was pretty much it. That was pretty much it. Yeah, and so like that leans it leans a lot to me in the like, you know, detective movies, the film noir kinds of stuff. A lot of like portrait shots, you know, like a lot of like I guess double portrait landscape kinds of things, like just, you know, a lot of in your face moments or whatever, as opposed to like looking out in the you know, the stage, the setting, that kind of thing. You get less of that. Like it's I don't know, I did like that it reminded me a lot of kind of like kind of like watching a Law and Order Special Victims Unit episode. Sort of. I did like the main character. It was a weird kind of, you know, enjoyment. Like I think she did a great job seeming like a very serious and possibly disturbed person herself, but it also weirded me out a little, like how when she'd speak, her face didn't move. Like, you know, only her lips. With like few exceptions, when she would smile, I think she smiled like twice in the movie.
Yeah.
It was like either an awkward smile or like a confused smile. It was never like a genuine like.
I think that's part of her character, though. I feel like she's trying to play like almost like a Scully from, you know, very straight face, the straight man in a lot of ways. She didn't have any.
I've heard of some theories, but like just looking at her character and how like kind of deadpan she is, it seems like some people have like suggested she could be on like a bit of the spectrum. And like whenever like her social interactions, I mean, it could be like those the Asperger's kind of stuff, you know.
Well, that,
you know,
that goes back to kind of like what it was. I'll tell you a little bit more.
But that goes back to like a possible bit of a spoiler. So I'll talk about that a little more later. That's pretty much it though. Like I at first kind of didn't like it, and then like it kind of grew on me. Like, no, this is good. Like her character, her expressions, everything lent to the like just the tone of the movie, I guess, very well.
I will say that for myself, I really enjoyed this movie a lot. I was a big fan of the gloominess and the tone and the dread that kind of like filled every scene, and a lot of the space in the scenes. You know, like there was a scene that I kind of found to be my favorite as it was happening. There's a scene. Well, there's a scene where she's walking out of her house because she sees someone outside. And like as she's walking through the dark, like I just felt like the lighting and everything that kind of like either silhouetted her, and you see like the very simple like light from her house, like the outside light. Like it seemed like it filled the whole space, but it also had like a lot of emptiness to it, which also lends to like various scenes whenever you see her kind of centered on the screen, and there's, you know, like whenever like we're kind of focused in on her, and there's like space behind her, like for instance in her kitchen, and you kind of like your eyes kind of like divert so they're kind of thinking that something's gonna happen. And I kept on looking, like you kept on looking to the background, even though nothing does happen. You as an audience are kind of like anticipating that.
I was waiting for something like that the whole time. I was trying to sort of figure out like how to sort of say the same thing as far as what I was thinking about the backgrounds and the areas that they go to. They do a good job of like utilizing a lot of empty space, and by utilizing I mean not just like, oh, here's a cool shot of just sort of nothing. It's because like even though there aren't any people in the shots, you know, when they have those that I think you're talking about, the environmental shots,
Right.
They're always very busy all the same. Like it still feels like there's a lot of shit there that you're constantly looking at or finding like, okay, what is this? Or like, oh man,
Well,
this all the stuff in the mom's house. Or
I think it's like deliberate in the way the movie is shot to kind of keep the audience always on the edge of their seat to where like they're looking around the focus point.
Yeah,
I think
to see where like they think something else is gonna happen because like
even later in the movie too.
I think
there's a scene where it's like it kind of pays off in a way. I won't say what, but even that like kind of shot at the end pays off, like the way you're talking about. Yeah, even the lighting too, because like when you're saying when she goes into her house and she turns on the fucking light in the hallway, like that's a dark ass house, dude. That's I would be not if I was like in her job, I would be feeling kind of freaked out going into the dark, the wood, like the wood grain.
Yeah,
like
she lives in like a fucking log cabin.
Yeah, log cabin, man,
dude. Like
very dark log cabin, like hardly any lighting in there. It's like I would if I was doing her job, I would want shit ton of lights.
And I personally, whenever like even in my own house now, and the way she had it set up, like you have those big windows and then like everything open. Like I'm like, curtains. Why is it in nighttime and we have the windows open? Mind you, even if it's not even a busy neighborhood and it's just you close that shit. Like,
so and the thing too is it's not even it's not even like there's small windows. It's almost like an entire corner of her house because there's one window and then the other one on the wall, and they're both like 4x4 or some shit. Like they're huge.
But see, like I think though all those little
and you could see like
those details, all those details are meant to like keep the audience kind of like on a like uncomfortable. Because I mean, I feel like every shot is like seemed like very detailed to where you can like
deliberate.
Everything's deliberate to where like you're trying to keep the audience like uncomfortable. Like nothing is ever like it's never to put you at ease. Like everything is very unsettling. No matter like what shot you're looking at.
They have a lot of those shots in there that like now that I was thinking back to it that are straight up for the audience. Like you literally see the characters walk out, of the shot and like the camera just stays on there. I think there's one point where they go to a barn, right? And as they're walking into it, you see them walk through and then the shot just like stays on the entrance and then kind of zooms in a little and then it just follows them again. I was like who the fuck is that for? Come on, guys. I like that.
But that's deliberately for the audience to kind of like anticipate something, to kind of like, and again, like, it's not necessarily like normally in those scenarios there'd be a cheap payoff for like a jump scare.
Exactly.
But it's mostly, it's only just to like tease you. They're just teasing
that.
You
I'm grateful for. There really aren't any jump scares much in this. If I don't think there are any. Like there's like a couple of there's like one or two.
Yeah, there's maybe one or two.
Like
when there's like a couple of like white screen flashes that piss me off. Because I'm just like, oh cool, now I'm blind. Thanks guys. No, I what I meant is that the plot is to me it was very very simplistic. Very straightforward, and so like you're looking for surprises necessarily, and you might be like, I don't know, a little too like wired for them to happen. So it's sorry to like set anyone up for disappointment necessarily, but like it's not one of those. I mean, it's not like this isn't like a standard slasher or whatever the hell where he's hiding behind the door or whatever the fuck kind of shit. Like it's actually
and I mean like it's I think it's very more of a thoughtful type of film. It's not like depending on like the cheap scares to get
there's little to no.
I think it's meant to keep you in a consistent state of uncomfortableness and dread.
Right.
Like throughout the movie,
suspense, like you're just waiting for something to happen.
Real quick, let's go into like talking about like the performances. So before we get to like Nicolas Cage, we talked about Micah Monroe as Lee Harker, and again, like I think she does a really good job of portraying like a very you had mentioned like a very stoic character. Like her interactions with everyone is very like deadpan.
Yeah,
Well, can I preface? Well,
go ahead.
Let me Yes, she does a good job of being stoic, but I like that she does a good job of playing fear or expressing fear. The scenes where she's like, in her dark house or whatever the fuck. There's another scene where she goes into the house, like the beginning of the movie. Yeah, she does a good job of playing fearful, which I really appreciate. Well, she's just like her panic when she's in those situations. Reminded me a lot of Silence of the Lambs. What's her name?
Jodie Foster.
She did a pretty good job of being terrified. Yeah, I don't know. I guess later on, maybe when I have more free range to express that. But her whole like stoicism, like spectrum type acting, maybe like if she's on the spectrum, I don't know. But that I feel like ties into something that we can't necessarily reveal right now. But either way, I really loved her performance. I thought she did a really good job.
The other character, the other person in here that I thought me and Bryce had kind of discussed was Blair Underwood. Her detective, like her head detective in her.
He changed real quick.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Blair Underwood, like a real cool, smooth kind of guy in any of these films. But like I was telling Bryce, I was like, when the fuck did he turn into like Lieutenant Murtaugh from Lethal Weapon? He's like that old.
He changed into that. He changed into that mean guy. She got your ass.
I was. Yeah, he turned into.
He's great though. He's great as this.
He's
a great character.
Detective.
He's a great actor too, man.
I was also thinking, it was he kind of reminded me of the Chief from Gone in 60 Seconds, which was as funny as another Nick Cage film.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's
true. Yeah, and he kind of acts like hard boiled like him, but also very like matter of fact and cool. And all right, it's time for drinks. Oh, you don't drink? That's good. I do.
I think it was like when she's like, they go to it's like, I need you to come and meet the family, and she's like,
yeah, do I have to?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. You dumb bitch. Get out the car.
Yeah. Get your ass.
Yeah. He does a great job. And so now let's get into Nicolas Cage in a very general, superficial way. Nicolas Cage, we all know we love Nicolas Cage. We have variances of where he's terrible, but he's also very good. And just to name a few.
What movie is he terrible in, Ray? What movie is he
terribly amazing?
What's that movie about the bees?
Oh,
the Wicker Man remake. Remake of the Wicker Man.
Poor writing.
Not the bees.
Poor writing. Okay. I say
Roland, you and I saw Pig, and that was amazing performance.
Yes, it was.
And we know Vampire's Kiss, great performance, but a hilarious performance.
Yeah, man. Who else can play an 80s yuppie as well as Nicolas Cage and Vampire's Kiss? And then
of course we have Renfield, as Dracula. I would love it.
You're talking about you're talking about all this like campy, kitschy roles. What about like fucking Raising Arizona, Leaving Las Vegas?
Are you telling
Bringing
me
Out the Dead?
Are you telling me Raising Arizona isn't campy?
Well, okay, yes, that one is. But Leaving Las Vegas, Bringing Out the Dead,
Living Las Vegas is
Con Air.
Con Air, that's great. Like we look.
He was such a serious actor.
Let's just say we love Nicolas Cage. Great, Mandy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Both
Ghost Rider films.
Yeah. Ghost Rider, Color Out of Shape.
Color Out of Shape.
Color Out of Shape. Shape Out of Color.
It's a Foo Fighters song.
Nice.
But yeah, so like Nicolas Cage is great. We love him.
Yeah.
So this character, it was hidden. We kind of keep him very like out of the trailers. We only got like glimpse of like almost like half of his face, at the most.
Really, yeah.
So Nicolas Cage, again, on a very superficial level, tell me what you thought of Nicolas Cage's performance, Roland.
It was amusing. It was pretty amusing. I'm sure you really loved his prosthesis or whatever, all the makeup and the old hag face they gave him.
Scared the shit out of me, Roland. Scared the shit out of me. I'm afraid of the old hag. That's right.
Yeah, really? and then it got progressively worse later.
Like old crones.
Yeah.
Was it because it looked like a Halloween mask?
Yeah, I don't need varicose veins in my life, right? I don't need that shit.
All right.
I thought it was pretty funny to see his like plastic face. I liked his character as like him knowing it's him being ridiculous. It was mostly silly. the Hail Satan moments, always worth the laugh. The chef's kiss, of course, at the end of the movie, which you're not gonna know. Eat shit and watch it.
Yeah.
um
Let's just give me a quick like. Did you think it was good? Did you think it was bad? Did you think you said it was silly?
So here's the thing, like as we just talked about, it's Nicolas Cage, and he has been in a range of wonderment and great and terrible. So like I like him in this movie, and I also hate him because it's a love-hate thing here. that definitely just like and it has a lot to do with again, like the overall hype and the story of this movie to me being just a bit overblown. I did like the movie overall, and what he his character was interesting. Was it super fucking amazing, like Pig kind of amazing? No, fuck no. But it wasn't like, I don't know what would be his it wasn't like oh, I don't know. For some reason I was thinking of Battlefield Earth when fucking John Travolta played that goddamn alien.
What's about that?
So like it's nothing like where it's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like
okay. I was like, give him some credit, a little more credit.
No, exactly. Like it wasn't that level of bad, even though he absolutely fucking hammed it up, I think.
Yeah.
We'll talk about
not John Travolta though like in Battlefield Earth.
Yeah.
Do you want lunch?
God damn it. I can't believe you remember that shit. That's fuck that fucking movie, dude.
Bryce, Nicolas Cage's performance in Longlegs, what did you think?
I really liked it. Kind of going off of what Roland was saying, like he's played like a range of characters, and I love Nicolas. We all love Nicolas Cage, again, for his silliness, his seriousness that he can do. But I like this character a lot in this movie. Like, I feel like this was just like another one of those where there's like the director's like, hey, just be crazy, fucking, you know what, you're gonna be a serial killer this time, you just play into craziness. But there's a fucking thing that he's done since his character in fucking Badass, the dad in Badass, going through that, Mandy, into this movie. And it goes to that scene where he's in the car. He always has this fucking certain cadence he does. It's like there's like I don't know, like he has to go into that at some point in the movie. I don't know what it is. Like that's maybe that's in his mind. This is crazy, and this is how I'm gonna play it.
Where he hits that high note.
Yeah, there's like a certain cadence he does, and it's like he's got to do that somewhere in the movie. He didn't do that the whole movie.
You want to get nuts?
Yeah, exactly. He brought some Michael Keaton down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ending scene, like you said, like there's some pretty good.
That was funny, dude. Like I laughed at that that ending scene too. I was like,
I did as well.
They're totally gonna end it like this. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I like the. There were some really hammy scenes, and there were some scenes where he played a pretty semi-subdued. Like, well, I don't know, like when he's in the shop. I won't say what, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I liked his performance in this movie.
All right,
more or less. For overall, I liked it.
I will say, like, I really enjoyed his performance, but I can see where people might not enjoy it because as serious as this movie has been hyped, and like as one of the scariest things, and like even Nicolas Cage's performance, like if you're not familiar with Nicolas Cage, you might get thrown off by his performance, because like what I saw on screen, I was expecting that pretty much.
I mean, like if you ever seen Nicolas Cage movie,
so like
Nicolas Cage channeling his inner Buffalo Bill.
That's what I was. Well, exactly. That's what I was saying. Do you think he should have been more like Buffalo Bill, like acted like that?
I will say
a little more Goodbye Horses.
That would have been interesting. Him doing a Buffalo Bill.
We don't need that.
I don't know, dude.
Don't need that.
When that scene where when Buffalo Bill's in the mirror, like, would I? Fuck me. What? Fuck me. That's how Stage would have done it.
Yeah. I would fuck God.
He wouldn't even tuck it. He'd just let it fucking flop around. I think in the context of this movie, if you're not familiar with Nicolas Cage, this could throw some people off, because again, I'm used to this kind of Nicolas Cage performance.
Yeah.
But like in the context of this movie, I found it creepy with a bit of like comedic element to it, because I mean, like I said, there's the cadence thing that I'm familiar with. There's the ending scene that I thought was beautiful. They left it at that, and like that could throw people off as well.
Mm-hmm.
But like that whole there's a scene when he's being interrogated by Micah Monroe's character, Lee Harker, where he does his monologue and he does the Nicolas Cage craziness, and like he gets real into it.
Yeah,
and I loved it.
That was great.
But again, I can see where people might be thrown off within the context of this movie and how it's supposed to be portrayed, and how Nicolas Cage is portraying this serial killer. But I loved it regardless. I loved it, and I was happy with his performance in Longlegs.
I'd probably watch it again with some beer.
Well, see, like that's another thing. I told Bryce I want to go watch it again because I just enjoyed the movie so much. Even though like we'll get to our ratings in just a second, but I don't think it's a perfect movie, but as far as a horror serial killer crime true crime kind of thing, like I enjoyed it a lot. And I think Oz Perkins just way of directing and his whoever the cinematographer was did a great job as well, because I just looking at the film itself, I think it's beautiful. I think it's just shot so well. Like even that alone intrigued me enough to go watch it again.
That was
I mean that might be like the simplicity of like the whole type of like film, because there's not a lot going on, but there's so much also going on at the same time.
How was your theater experience, Roland?
It was tolerable. Like I said, there was people there.
How many people how packed was it?
Not very, dude. But it was, I'd say like maybe kind of like 15 or so, maybe around that, a little less.
Well, I don't know how Ray's was, but like I went to the AMC here in Edinburgh, and they put it at the very back theater. Cheapest chairs, man, like fucking the fold down seats, like not the lounge chairs, any of that shit.
Why?
And I don't know. And they had a bunch of teenagers in there and talking about the whole time. It was a bad experience. It was like a couple of people sitting next to us, and they brought snacks in. So I was like,
Oh no, I was the asshole eating. I got two hot dogs. I'm there like,
that's fine when you're the one doing it. But when other people
all right. I in my defense, like it took me about 10 minutes in the beginning of the movie to eat all that shit. I wasn't there like throughout the whole fucking movie.
That's fine. That's what I'm saying. Like, middle of the movie, they're just like,
that sucks.
I went at 9:35 in the morning to the Cinemark. And initially when I bought my ticket, I was the only person in there, and I was like hyped.
I wanted to go there.
Please let me be the only fucking person in this theater. I need to enjoy this movie. Of course, I get there, and there's like two people sitting at the far end of the same row that I'm in, and then there's two people sitting. There's two couples sitting at both ends of the fucking row that I'm in, and I sit dead center. And there's maybe about 5 other people scattered in the theater, right? I sit down, I have my fucking popcorn, I have my drink, and then this older couple, I want to say around like early 50s, sit right fucking next to me.
God damn it. I was about to say, like, who the fuck's that next to you, Ray?
And I was like about to lose it. But I said, you know what? I'm not going to let that disrupt this whole thing. Mind you, I sat like this the whole time.
Well,
I would have fucking moved,
Why didn't you move, man?
No, I would have. I wanted that seat.
I know,
that fucking
but
seat,
you paid for it.
I wanted that fucking seat, and I specifically choose that seat.
But
seat.
you know what?
There's nobody else in the theater.
Yeah, but I wanted that seat.
There was a few.
Like they obviously they purchased the seat after I did. There was nobody in the fucking theater. I bought it almost a week in advance.
It's funny.
Nobody in the fucking theater, dude.
I sat one seat away from an older couple, Like I specifically saw like, oh, so when I got my tickets and there's some people here and here, and I've just picked, okay, this is about where I want it. I'm gonna go one seat over the fuck away. Like perfect.
Ratings for Longlegs. Bryce, go.
Out of what, 5?
Out of 5, go.
I'm gonna get a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. It's not a perfect movie, obviously, but I don't know. I enjoyed it. Like I said, cinematography was really good. Atmosphere was great. Nicolas Cage, I liked his performance. I kind of knew what I was getting with Nicolas Cage, and he delivered it. Hammed it up quite a bit on certain parts, but we were expecting that. The main character, I thought she did a really good job. The mom also, I felt like she did a good job playing a whole fucking Looney Bins woman. I don't know if anybody knows this. She was the sister of Paul Atreides in the David Lynch Dune. She's all grown up, playing a mom now.
Oh wow!
Yeah, played a crazy girl, and now she's playing a crazy mom. Yeah. Now I liked her performance in it too. So yeah, for me, I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay, I'm gonna say mine. I'm gonna give this. I was hesitant, but I'm gonna give it a 4.75.
Woo!
Like, it's not a perfect movie.
4.75.
I love this movie a lot, but the fact that it's hyped, and I hate the fact that it's hyped up.
But dude, you can't base the movie off other assholes like fucking.
No. I understand that, but I mean, I was, but like the thing is, like, even though I avoided a lot of the trailers. I avoided a lot of the promotion for this, but I still like in my mind, I wanted to. The thing is, it didn't. Like,
I wanted more for how long.
Oh well, maybe the issue was I hyped it up for you too, because I was all fucking pumped for it, and I was like, so if I had not said anything to you, you would have been like, 5 out of 5 for this movie.
Yeah, well, like I wanted
4.7.
I wanted to be a little bit more disturbed.
4 3/4. That's pretty high, man. It's almost
no. I enjoyed it, and this I'm gonna say this already. Like, this is already in my top 5 movies of the year.
I will say this about the movie. I feel like they should. Here's the thing. I want to go back with the 4 out of 5. That still stands. But the reason I give it higher is because I feel like they lost a lot of opportunity to show more gore.
Yeah.
Because all the fucking trailers like.
Yeah,
when she's at the murder scenes, I thought they were gonna show like all kinds of fucked up shit. And they never did. They never showed anything. Everything was covered up. When they removed the cover, she was just like, "Woo!" And it's just like, well, it's like, okay. I mean, give me some shock. Like, what's going on here? Like, what's so crazy about what's going on? No. Kind of like 7, because 7 they had interesting ways they killed them and all that. You just kind of like had them like, and they just had people like killing each other. And I was like, okay, even later on in the movie when whatever happens, like that could have been. I would have liked to see more of that. I don't know. That's one thing. Is like the kills. They could have. I guess it's not the kind of movie, but they could have shocked me a little more with the kills. A little more.
I mean, that was kind of what I was expecting if he was going to be running as a serial killer. But even that is questionable at best or whatever. Which I can't really go into that either, right? Again,
not yet.
Yeah,
not yet.
Sorry.
Ratings. Great porn hole.
I'll give this one like a. I give it like a 3.7.
Oh, 3.7. Wow. They give you
because
one whole degree less than you, right?
The characters are done well for the way that they weren't, I think, intended. Like, they're all interesting. They all did very good jobs. It was shot well. It was staged well. I mean, like with a few, I think it could have been trimmed a bit. Again, like I get that like a lot of the long pauses and stuff were meant to set people on suspense or on edge of their seats, all that kind of bullshit. I just get tired of it, for it's like, but for almost 2 fucking hours, like, come on, no. Like if you're gonna do that, then I don't know. I would have expected like a bit more shock, like a bit shock value, like a bit more spectacle.
That's what I felt about the kills.
Yeah, exactly. Instead, I think most of the spectacle, if not all of it, whoa shit, came from Nick Cage. whenever he's on in the shot, like it's always okay, like high energy. Let's see what the fuck's going on. Crazy shit, like kind of like balls to the wall, moments. It's like, oh, he's there. It's the killer. All right, what the fuck? It's time for shit to hit the wall or whatever. And it does when he's in those moments, because otherwise it's a very slow, very slow build up. Excuse me, to the twists and the I guess what's actually happening. It bugged me that it was predictable, like insanely predictable. I didn't see any of this, and like got to Bryce is talking about a twist necessarily, and for me it was just like, oh, it's this, or oh, it's this, and oh, it's that, and I was like, okay, cool, let me just watch it now and see if I'm right. Fuck.
Oh, you're the enemy of your own cinema viewing.
Yeah, like I get angry at myself when I was watching it, like the fucking scene where she goes home to her log cabin, and the second she turns on the lights and looks outside, I'm like, oh, she's gonna go outside and she's gonna turn around. There's gonna be somebody in the window or something.
Well, that was in the trailer, actually.
I don't remember that from the trailer, actually. But okay, you got me with that one. But I don't remember it. But like for that kind of stuff, I was like, oh, come on. It was still well written for what it is. What I thought was, again, like some kind of like pulp detective story kind of thing. It was shot in the 90s. It could have just as like easily been, in any other time period, before then, and still probably been just as cool. Mm-hmm. I think for its plot. I kind of wanted to see Nicolas Cage in his serial killer heyday instead of like his fucking like Twilight years in this one, I guess, by that point.
Yeah.
When they're telling him, you're going to go to jail for the rest of your life. And it's like, he's like old as dirt. What life? Like, what are you getting him for? Okay.
So as far as you're getting into the Roland, like I do want to like break for a second to make sure that we are gonna go into spoilers, right? Let's release the chains on all of us, and let's get into it. All right, like,
all right,
slap open a beer if you need to. We're getting into spoilers, so let's get into some of the pros that we liked, and you can kind of like on your description.
Oh, that's interesting. Good stuff. So, who else thinks that Nick Cage looked like some kind of like glam rock / grunge mime?
Well, what's funny about that, man? I never looked up any spoilers and shit because I saw the trailers. I guess I could tell my dad was like, Dad, like Longlegs is going to be a great movie, and he's like,
yeah.
He's like, Nicolas Cage. And he was like, he's like, I won't see this movie. He's like, my dad's not. What the fuck? My dad's not a big Nicolas Cage fan or whatever the fuck. But
yeah.
So he's like looking up. And he's like, he looks like fucking Gary Glitter and shit like that. And I was like, so I was like, oh, maybe, I don't know. And then I was like seeing him, and then I was like, oh yeah, he's got the whole like. I was like, yes, that's what my dad said. He looks like an old retired glam rocker.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? So
it's like if Kurt Cobain had grown old.
Yeah. Oh man.
he has the jacket.
Maybe, man. And or if they like pieced his face back together.
It was weird. Like he was. Yeah, exactly.
Like, we can rebuild him.
He was wearing he had a fucking like a jean jacket over a white vest.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
And I was like, yeah. Did you guys notice the goddamn flying V guitar in his goddamn room?
See, I never
He didn't. I was telling Bryce. Bryce made a comment while we were texting, and I said, something about it, like him being a rocker or something. Like I said,
you were talking about the poster.
Yeah, I said
I thought it was Stevie Nicks in the back because of the fucking. There's a poster of a person with like a top hat.
No. I said,
she's a white witch.
I told him, I go like his idol, fucking Mark Bolan, who's from T-Rex, which is a song that we get in the end of the movie, the Bang a Gong,
Yeah, and then like they
he's also listening to it when he's in the car
in the beginning.
Yeah, they do quote it in the beginning. So that's another reason why I was like that. Mark Bolan is probably his idol. He has that fucking poster as he's
singing. He keeps fucking singing like he's a goddamn rock star the whole time. Like when he meets the mom and the daughter, what is he saying? He's like,
once, but twice.
Yeah, anytime I want, I'll be back. Like what the fuck? And I love how like he's doing that, and they don't show his eyes. It's just his mouth, his hands, dude. It's so fucking funny and weird.
Yeah, it's great.
If you make me leave now, he sounded. It was like the old pedo man from fucking. Do you guys remember from Family Guy? One talks like this. Hey, Chris, come on over here, you little bitch. Like,
well, the scene that like
fucking does that channeled, if he was a rocker.
The whole scene that like channeled the fucking bullshit of like badass, the dad and badass, and like Mandy when he was in the car, he's like, "Mommy, Daddy, save me from the pain of living." I was just like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah, dude, I was like, "Oh, my ears! Why? Like, this is so funny." But no,
that's actually became a whole thing. In I saw like this video on TikTok where someone put on the mask from the Black Phone, the one that Ethan Hawke wore.
Yeah.
And they were like in their car and they're going, like it's a meme now. Like Nicolas Cage can't escape the fucking memes, like
that's great.
Because he's like the fucking meme god,
I was telling Ray though, man, like I swear I bet you, man, they're gonna come out with a fucking prequel to this movie. I know Nicolas Cage said he wouldn't do this character anymore, so maybe they'll get somebody else, but I bet you they do a prequel of like I bet you they do something where he is a fucking glam rocker, or somebody who was during like the heyday of the Satanic Panic.
Yeah,
or he could have been in like a hair metal band or glam rock band or whatever the fuck. And they're gonna do a prequel of like how he got into where he is now, like where you were saying like his heyday of serial killing and shit.
Yeah, right. Because like
he even like has a fucking guitar case when he's like getting pulled over by the cops.
Yeah, that's so. It's so funny that like he's in the fucking family's basement.
Yeah,
and he's got that fucking guitar and all this other shit, and it's like, how do they not hear him?
Yeah.
If the second you hook that fucking thing up, you're gonna blast out the goddamn windows.
Yeah.
Hold on, how good of a guitar player is he?
Oh, that's true, man.
Is he really?
I would hope he's good enough to, if he's gonna spend money on a goddamn V at that time.
No. You can spend your money on a V, play some T-Rex, and you're fucking good. You don't need that much time,
I guess
it's a little like a little E to A blues.
Okay, so did either of you guys?
You can get.
Oh, you can get the
Rich Flying V or ESP or some shit. A bunch of cheap guitars, man.
The sitting V.
Yeah, sitting V.
I do want to like point out the fact that like regarding spoilers is that like Nicolas Cage is a doll maker.
Yeah,
and he puts some kind of like magical
metal orb,
like more orb in the brain of the fucking doll, which allows people to kill.
Right.
Or like
it's very Mandy.
Yeah.
Like, it sends out like a signal or something like that.
And I guess that's what I mean by the twist. I wasn't expecting that because I really was expecting him just being a serial killer. I didn't think they were gonna throw. I know they said it was an occult horror movie, but I didn't think they were gonna throw like supernatural into it. So that's kind of like what kind of threw me. I mean, I don't know.
Well, you remember when the morgue guy like puts a
he says I swore I heard my wife's name, but
there's like some kind of
he was fucking weird too though. He was kind of like he was kind of that
it was weirding him out though. It was weirding him out because like it's just to show like how it affects people, right?
Yeah,
I think I don't know. He spent too much time listening to it and shit, and it's pretty much like the fucking what the hell are those things called from Lord of the Rings? The fucking the Palantir. There we go. The more you're around it, the more it affects, or the more you like are aware of it. If it affects
into
you.
it, the more
It stares back. I was thinking about I wanted to see more supernatural stuff. What did you guys think of the really shitty special effects when the spell is disrupted or whatever, right? When the mom shoots the doll, and then you see the smoke come out of the back of.
Well, I mean, was it
head.
smoke or was it some kind of like almost like spiritual?
It was the evil.
I'd love to see any shotgun fucking destroy a steel ball like that, though. That's what I want.
Yeah,
man. I don't know.
Well, like
obviously,
it came out of the back of her head, right?
Yeah,
the smoke,
and she I thought that was interesting. But see, that's what I was trying to get back earlier. Like, you were saying how that she acts. Maybe she was acting like that because of the doll. Who knows?
Yeah. So I mean, the doll cut off her fucking memories, dude.
The girl that was in the insane asylum. The only reason she was catatonic is because they had her in a box. When they brought her out of the box, she woke up.
Yeah.
So who knows what they were doing with that doll? Maybe that's why she was all like,
because whenever they opened the box, like they said, like she at some point she perked up and she was like alive.
I thought it was when
Longlegs visits, but that visit coincides when they found the box.
Yeah,
that was the whole point.
And it's also funny that like
when he tells the doll too, he's like, I know you're not afraid of a little dart because you are the darkness. And he puts the fucking thing on her, and then she's in the fucking box because that's why she's all like catatonic. They're all like controlled like in a way by the dolls, because you even notice too the daughter at the very end of the movie, she's all like
completely zombied out.
Like,
yeah. I mean, it totally has an effect.
Voodoo, almost like a voodoo type thing.
I wanted to see more of it. I was hoping it was like more of a front and center kind of thing instead of. I mean, it's not an afterthought, but it almost seemed like a minor detail. Most of the focus was on the characters themselves.
I do feel like it was like revealed a little too late in the movie. They could.
Yeah, I like. So the thing about like Lee's character being the little girl in the beginning of the movie, it's like, how is that left to like question? You just see that and you're like, oh, it's her. There's no like, why else would you do that? Is it possible it's someone else? Well, maybe, but I'm just gonna go with that's her growing up. And then she doesn't say or think anything of it. And the first thing I was thinking of, okay, either something is fucked with her head or she's in on it. And like it turned out that the mom had been like had that deal with Longlegs. And I think the doll fucking with her memories like that for such a long time probably did have an effect on her personality, like you were like in that sense.
Well, I was curious, like where was the doll the whole time? Because they had the other girls in the asylum. They don't explain that right.
You think it was locked in with Longlegs? Because I mean, it
probably
whenever she like tries to go and like open that door, that's what
it was
Longlegs
locked. Like, downstairs.
So like it could have been down there with her the whole time. And whenever he got caught, like the door's open. She went in there, got the doll, set it up, and then she just blasted it.
Yeah,
because she was like, "Oh, you're free" or whatever the fuck.
Well, and the mom even said that was the doll kept her from remembering her childhood.
Yeah.
That's when the whole Baphomet silhouette comes out.
Yeah,
and Osgood Perkins does that a lot because Black Coat's daughter, he did the same thing with it's like a evil silhouette.
The shadow, and then the Satan eyes or whatever that they're always flashing under the veil.
Yeah,
of the doll or the
which I will say, Rue Morgue. Kind of on their cover.
I think I remember seeing that cover and like not knowing what the fuck I was looking at.
Kind of did a little false advertisement because I never saw that snake face. I just saw the eyes, but I never saw like the whole like.
Yeah.
No, they kept doing the like
maybe they brightened
the screen. There were the screens with all the snakes in it or whatever. They kept making flashes.
Yeah.
Which I assume was supposed to be some kind of Bible bullshit.
Well, maybe they brightened the image up. Like it was supposed
to
look at that image, even though it was a doll underneath.
Brightening.
I mean, like you guys didn't groan at all when she was like quoting the Book of Revelation and shit.
No, never.
Revelation.
Never.
Don't say no S. All right.
Revelation. Revelation is cool, bro.
No S.
Right.
I said Book of Revelation.
It goes fucking hard as shit.
It's the comic book action version section of the Bible, and you know it.
Well,
that's why everybody likes reading it.
There is a comic Bible.
The Action Bible. I saw that. It's so dumb. It's been around for a while. I think I saw it at Target not too long ago.
Yeah, Jesus is fucking ripped and shit, bro. He's like fucking.
My favorite Jesus picture is the one where he's like jacked as hell and he's like ripping himself off the cross. It's like
the
shattering.
Gym, like the gym Jesus.
Yeah, the gym Jesus.
Wow.
He's got like fucking neck veins and shit.
Are there any like other spoilers that we want to go over before we get to Bryce's theories on?
I mean, again, like
you already heard my theories, honestly.
No, we'll get to it like in just.
I really enjoyed how they all sort of set this out, but it really annoyed me how sort of predictable it was because like the second you meet the mom, I mean, like not even that, but like talking to her on the phone, like she sounds suspicious as fuck, and then you know.
I will say like I mean you Roland like have a tendency to do that. Yeah. I didn't really like look at that.
Or you just like, oh, bitch is crazy.
But dude, didn't you hear his fucking voice? There's a scene where she's talking to mom and then she gets real quiet. Yeah. I swear to God, you can hear Nicolas Cage's voice in the background, and then she's like, "Mom, are you okay?" Yeah. Because he's in the house, so
I think I do remember there like being a noise or something.
I don't remember which scene it is, but there's a scene where she's talking to her mom, and she gets quiet, and you can hear a voice in the background. I think it's like this Cage's voice.
Yeah,
you know, did you say that? What? Like, there's a point like if she's calling Lee Harker on the phone, and he's like in the house, and they're kind of like roommates and shit. And she's like she made like a cake or something. He's like, "Oh, this cake is good," and she's like, "What, Mom? Are you okay?" Huh? They're just like roommates, like fucking like bantering to each other.
Dude, he could be pounding that ass too. You never know.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, they're about the same age. No. It's Hail Satan.
Yeah.
Hail Satan. Like the mom pulls out that fucking curved dagger out of nowhere at the end of the movie. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah.
Bitch is gonna die. No, like when Lee goes to meet her mom, and her mom is talking about how it's in chapter 2, I think, all of the things where she's telling her like, oh yeah, I keep everything. Like I might not remember like much of anything, but I keep everything. Like everything's up there in your room, you know. And she's like, I forgot for both our sakes. And it's like, okay, what does that mean, bitch? and Lee's character is just like, okay, like just taking it in stride. I'm like, what the fuck is this? No, like there's something wrong with her fucking brain too.
Yeah.
And like as it turns out, she's missing like I would have to say a good chunk of her formative years, because like when she meets Longlegs, she's like what, like 11 or 12 or something,
like,
right before
it's pretty young.
Like that. And if her mom was helping him do this throughout this whole time, like you're talking about like through her teenage years to fucking college, like it's a long fucking time, man. And like so like that's a huge like gap in her fucking brain that I'm just like, okay, maybe this is, you know, like there's no way that that's not gonna, you know, like present itself in some way. In this case, I would assume like her very like robotic sort of personality at first, for the most part. Like she does definitely do a great job with acting, like, and looking scared or looking like curious, or like the actress is great. The character itself, like you can tell that there's a lot going on there that isn't sort of explained until, or rather that I guess you have to kind of assume, you know, watching this movie, because it does kind of annoy me how they kind of pull that like some of the like later reveals, you know, where it turns out, you know, that the mom was helping Nick Cage. It's like, oh, he's been living there the whole time. He's in the one room she didn't go down into. It's like, bitch, have you never been into your basement? Like, what is this like?
Well, I mean,
we don't know. I mean, he blocked her memories. Like we don't know what she remembers really.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean,
but like also like how long has he been living there? Has he been living there like whenever he met them initially? Like
that's so that's what I was thinking. Like, that's what I was thinking, because like the mom said they made a deal, otherwise he was going to kill him, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, at that point, it's just like they're just showing the mom like walking to all these fucking houses over and over and over, like with the little doll,
with
like
the same gimmick. Yeah.
yeah.
And nobody bothered to question, like, oh, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
go
the
to
other
church.
thing, dude. The FBI, the feds in this are so fucking stupid. You know, like how is it that Lee's character goes through all this shit and like none of this gets screened at all by the feds when they recruit her? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like they're gonna find like weird shit like that, like in a background check, or just like have questions.
Roland, Satan is involved.
Yeah,
It covers all that up.
Well, they would have done some kind of psychological test on her. Maybe.
Yeah,
It'd be kind of weird. She doesn't remember any of her childhood. They're gonna be like,
"Oh, it turns out you're a little psychic. That's kind of why we brought you in on this."
Oh, that was another thing too. So like they have, they kind of basically say in the movie that I guess the FBI, which I guess has kind of been known for a while, but FBI has a secret like psychic training program, or like they're like numbers through 0.
You mean like fucking MK Ultra over here and shit? Yeah.
We should have got Terrence Howard to do like 1 × 1 = 1.
They tell her, dude.
I want to tell you that 1 × 1 does not equal 1. It equals 2.
What is it they tell her? They're like, yeah, it turns out you're kind of psychic and clairvoyant. You beat the numbers game 8 times, and she's like, yeah, I also failed it 8 times. So it's like, yeah, so nothing. Like, why
like,
even
some kind of psychic is better than no psychic?
It was that to me was like, it was absolutely pointless. It was, if anything, like it was kind of distracting because it's like,
again, I think I heard somebody mention, you know what, I forgot about it, but when I watched the movie, I was like, oh, I think I did hear somebody mention it was like Silence of the Lamb meets Medium. I was like, oh, okay, now I'm seeing where
like she never uses anything like that again. Like it's in the beginning of the movie where she's like, the killer is in this house, and the guy's like, how do you know? I just do. Yeah, he's like, whatever, you dumb bitch. Boom. Like, hi, do you have a minute to talk about our Lord Jesus Christ? Feds, open up. Blam. Like,
oh, but hey, what the fuck? That guy didn't get killed. That was the father. He killed that family, right? That father killed his family?
I don't know.
He didn't get killed. They arrested him. He was just on the bed.
Yeah.
Why didn't anybody question him, or what happened with that?
Was that related to this?
Yeah.
I thought it was something different.
No, but then why would he say that Longlegs in that house?
Shit.
No, did she say Longlegs? I thought she just said he's in
that house.
No, he said he's in that house, but not Longlegs.
But they're going for long.
No.
They were going just. So
they didn't introduce the whole like.
I gotta rewatch this
until afterwards.
They didn't introduce the Longlegs thing until after the fact.
In this sense,
they were looking for like a killer.
It was a manhunt. It was a manhunt for that killer of the Deadu. Longlegs, that was introduced later, and then like it turns out that she'd been getting letters from him before, right?
Yeah.
And then he gave her the cipher that she was used to decode everything. And when asked about it, she's like, I just looked harder than. I just looked hard enough. I was like, what? Like, that is such a stupid fucking answer. Like, who the fuck is going to accept that? Like, oh,
it's the 90s.
Well, I don't know.
Technology isn't there.
I know. Like, again,
I don't know that cipher, like the whole like
was whatever
that he's trying to,
all
like
of it.
The 6. I was like, oh, this is like the crypto clips and like the newspaper and shit. I was like, this is,
it's funny. It's funny.
Cool.
It's funny whenever she was drawing the triangle.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's the Cinequest logo.
Yeah. When she pulled out the nine Circles of Hell book, I was like, oh boy, here we go. I was like, is she gonna reach over for her copy of? I don't think so. I mean, if it is, it's called Dante's Inferno.
Why? Yeah. I know, but I was looking at that. I was like, a guide to the 9 Circles. I was like, is that a real book? Okay, I want to like just see what that's about.
I would imagine you guys would have found it by now if it was. But like, I mean, but as you guys know, like it's all bullshit. That's all fucking Dante Alighieri.
Yeah, of course.
Writing angry fucking like fan fiction about the people that were mean to him and stuff. Like,
of course.
None of that shit is real, and it's so fucking funny how like I mean, funny, sad how it got like adapted and adopted into mainstream culture, and how a lot of people.
You mean like actual Christian lore and Christian
when it's
like,
all
imagery?
like it's all right. They're obviously an allegory for
none of that shit is
shit that's happening at the time.
None of that shit's in the Bible. Exactly.
All right, so let's just go over Nicolas Cage's monologue whenever he's being interrogated. You know, there's a whole promo going on with that says that they recorded Micah Monroe's heartbeat whenever she like saw Nicolas Cage for the first time, and like I think it was like 170 beats.
I read that,
and it flatlined.
And and like whenever she walked in to see him for the first time as Longlegs, it was another promotion that went on. So like, what did you all think about Nicolas Cage as Longlegs in this scene?
I liked it. It was fun. It was funny though. Like
it was fun, yeah.
Because it's just watching. I can't disconnect myself from the fact like that, knowing it's Nicolas Cage like trying to be fucking ridiculous and shit, and seeing that, it just makes me laugh. But I did like it though.
Roland, like the scene where he fucking does that fucking it's great. It's great.
And then like as well, when he's talking to her about his great work, he like leans in and like, you know, he's got a really fucking like awesome like glare.
Yeah, he plays them like between a maniacal serial killer and like a mentally handicapped man, because he's like, you can call him Mr. Downstairs.
You can call him,
like,
what is it?
In fact, you can call him Mr. Downstairs. I was like, God damn it, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like
when
it's great. It's fucking great.
Like, okay, so like that fucking scene where he goes to the general store to buy like what I don't know what he even buys, but he does his little peekaboo. And the little girl is just like, Daddy, that fucking creepy guy's here again. Like, it's like
leading into the car scene, the mommy, Daddy. It's great.
But I like that scene because it is very like uncaged. Uncaged, Nicholas Uncaged, and he no, like it was pretty cool. At one point, like I thought he was gonna straight up stand up and like rip his arms out of those fucking cuffs or some craziness, and instead he does the standard like exorcist, bang his head into the fucking table. Only
his nose fucking almost broke.
His nose comes off and shit.
Like that all got ripped off. Like you could see straight into his fucking skull. And I thought it was a pretty cool ending for that, because I was just like, holy shit. And like as well, when he talks about like what he did and like how he's everywhere now, and like it's not over yet and all that. He's like, my work is done or whatever, but like, you know, it didn't really matter. He was already.
I didn't really understand. Or maybe y'all can elaborate on it, but like when he's talking about the houses, like each one's like more white than the other.
Yeah,
I didn't
that.
Yeah, he says,
I don't know.
His house was the whitest, and it was like you're talking about like, I don't know what the fuck that was about. That was interesting. Like, I don't know. His whole monologue was pretty interesting. I don't know what he meant by that.
I think I can only assume like maybe he was referring to that in the sense of like how because like from what I can gather or looking at it, all the families, they were all just like well-to-do, very happy, you know, just like they were, you know, there wasn't anything crazy about them. So I can only assume that,
and like fucked him up, you know.
Yeah, like I think when he mentions that he might be talking about just about how like great and wonderful and just you know, good, how these are very good people. And so like he keeps he goes and he finds an even better family and an even better one, and I think.
But there was no like deliberate intention or like reason as to why he chose certain families, other than the fact that they had birthdays.
Right. Yeah. That was pretty much the main thing.
They give me 3 days behind, 2 days after.
I would have been killed.
What I don't know is like
I would have been killed, Roland.
You're not a girl, so it's all right. Unless you're something.
Yeah. Oh, you would have been Nick Cage.
I would have been Nick Cage.
It fits the profile. Take him down. He
gotta get the kiss too.
What I wanted to know is, oh, I love that. I laugh so much. Hail Satan. Hail Satan. That was so fucking funny, dude. Oh, I love that. That was so goddamn funny. But what I wanted to see, and it kind of annoyed me, is there wasn't really a purpose to this ritual, right? Like it was just Hail Satan or whatever. Was there?
Well, let me ask you a question. Like, what was?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, we don't know.
Like Charles Manson's purpose, like.
Well, they mentioned him too because
the
catatonic woman's like, well, Charles Manson had his followers. Yeah, but they were.
That's another thing. That stupid bitch. Nobody fucking watched her. They just let her jump out the window, dude, on her own.
We know why the
maybe
mom
she was playing checkers, and she
we know why the mom was delivering the fucking dolls because she wanted her daughter to live, or not burn in hell or wherever. Who knows why the fuck? That's what I'm saying, man. I'm telling you, this bear's like having some kind. I don't think Osgood Perkins is cheap enough to do this kind of thing, like because I think it stands on its own. But somebody may take. I don't know. I can see a prequel of this movie, and they're like, and now it's more like focusing on Longlegs and like, why is he here now doing this and what the fuck ever.
His stint as a glam rocker and shit.
It ended, and now he's like, oh, Satan,
all I have is Satan.
You're gonna give me a laugh, and now I can kill. I don't know. Who the fuck knows, dude? Like maybe Satan's gonna come and be like, I'll give you a fucked up face, but you can live forever.
It's fucking David Grohl.
Yeah.
The devil from fucking Tenacious D.
He kind of looked like motherfucking Axl Rose. Axl Rose is like all that. Well, he kind of does. Axl Rose has all the fucking plastic.
He's got a fucked up face. Yeah, his face is plastic. It's like a rubber mask.
You know what? He does look like Axl Rose.
That's what I'm saying. He does. He gives the fucking fabulous.
He does. Gross.
Take me down to the Paradise
City. He has the cadence.
It looks like I put on my long legs today. Yeah. He
put on my long legs. Welcome to the jungle. All right. So, Bryce, we like mentioned some of your like theories regarding prequel and whether or not like they're gonna focus in on Longlegs as the glam rocker, because apparently his idol is Mark Bolan from T-Rex.
Well, the movie's okay. Well, it's set in the 90s. I don't know. Did they ever say exactly how old he was?
No, they wasn't specific.
No, but if I was gonna guess, it would probably be in like his mid to late 60s.
Really?
No, I wouldn't even say that. I'd say 50s.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I swear, man, I
fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Mark Bolan's is so idol, I guess.
I'm sort of
could have been in a hair band, dude.
I'm putting him in the age.
It could have been in a hair metal band,
I'm putting him around the same age as I think that the
mom. He's fucking like someone from fucking Molly Crew. He's fucking Vince Neil and shit. Yeah, he was Vince Neil's. He was like Molly Crew's like first singer and shit.
Living life on the wild side. I don't know. I'm just saying.
So did Nicolas Cage really say he was done with the character? Like I
had heard that he didn't want to do it. Like,
really?
He didn't want to become Heath Ledger.
Roland, we actually I had watched an interview after watching Longlegs. And we just watched it a few minutes ago where Nicolas Cage talks about his approach to Longlegs because Oz Perkins, said that it was about his mother. It was about his mother. Or
what? May I real quick interject? Now, Roland, Anthony Perkins, played Psycho.
Mm.
Do you know that he was married, but he was closeted, that he was homosexual?
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yes, for a long time. They remained married until his death.
One of those stereotype couples. I think.
Well, it was at the time, unfortunately, that people were not allowed to come out.
Right.
So they thought it was best for his career to just remain as in her. So he had, I think, a couple of kids. It's not his only kid.
I'm not. I don't think it like.
I've read
as good as
articles about a
Parkinson's is.
lot of
His only child,
not a
but
lot,
that
yeah,
does
people
kind
did that
of. I
shit.
think the whole mom hiding something kind of reflects that, in a way, which is weird because another crazy thing, man, is his mom died in the 9/11 crashes. That's fucking crazy.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's harsh.
Yeah, his mom was coming back from somewhere in Northeast, and it was one of the hijacked planes.
And I will say though that piggybacking off that, it's like when we saw the interview with Nicolas Cage, is that he drew from his mother for Longlegs, and that he said like he drew from his father for Dracula whenever we did Renfield.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, but he said that like I mean that was him channeling whatever issues that he had
that's fucked up
for Longlegs. But
yeah, my dad likes to drink a lot of blood. That's why
he said that. Oh, what was the fuck? Hold on. He mentioned that. That he like Longlegs is not supposed to be someone who is specifically male or female. They're supposed to be like blur the line between gender.
Yeah, the whole evil.
Oh, androgynous.
Yeah,
which
very
I
androgynous,
thought was interesting because they show a fucking silhouette of Baphomet, which, as you know, if you ever seen any picture of Baphomet, it's androgynous. It's got tits. It's got obviously like a caduceus thing coming out of its, which is kind of a dick. No, he was X-Pac. I don't know if I think it was X-Pac.
It was X-Pac in China, like
degeneration. Fucking suck it.
But yeah, so like according to Nick Cage, like he said like he was his approach to Longlegs was a bit of androgynous and taking from his mother. So I'm assuming that a lot of the either the cadence and the kind of way that he approached, even like this, like the whenever he's interacting with everyone, is that like that's more like his mother.
Yeah,
he said that was more.
Cage grow up?
He said that was like
like the mother from Psycho.
But like, where
he said it's very cathartic for him. Like,
where did he grow up? Do you know?
I have no idea.
I'm curious because if he was like born in the Midwest or some shit, I could see that because when he's like talking to, oh, you little angels, like maybe it's an exaggeration of like a fucking Midwest white mom, you know, like kind of like, oh, like, there she is, the little angel. It's like maybe I don't know, maybe that could be. That's kind of weird though.
Nick Cage grew up in fucking Long Beach, dude.
Did he?
Yeah, he drove
maybe
fucking Long Beach.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I don't know how Long Beach people sound, man. Right? He's Long Beach. Oh, well, that would have been more
Jersey Shore, you know.
Long Beach. Oh shit, dude, that would have been more. That would have been more fucking like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and shit, dude.
He was Long Beach and like, raised Catholic.
Oh, angel. Well, because
dude,
Long Beach, Inglewood.
So like there was something else that I thought would have been funky and kind of funny is in that they never mention who Lee's father is, and so like at one point I had like just thought like, well, what if Longlegs was the papa, you know?
Full disclosure, I went and saw this with my mom. She was thinking that too. She's like, well, I guess Longlegs is her father.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but he just comes out of nowhere. Is that really who it is?
I don't know.
Because the mom was like, oh, nobody came to visit us. No family, nobody.
No, and then this traveling clown came by and I fucked him.
I swear to God, dude. Dude, I fucking swear. I thought he was supposed to be a clown or some shit. Because when he tells her, he's like, oh, yeah. I put my long legs on. I was like, oh, this is like some kind of clown shit. Like he's like a fucking, he's like a birthday party clown or something. Yeah. He's a birthday party clown or some shit. Could be.
I thought that at first. I was like, nope, that's too easy.
I'm sorry.
If it's like that, I'm gonna leave. Like I'm gonna laugh my ass off. It can't be that stupid.
He's a fucking Gacy type character, maybe.
I mean, you know, it does. Yeah, it does give you that fucking like I scream, you scream kind of.
I swear to God, man. Yes, I honestly when the fucking first sight of him, the voice, I was like, oh, is he like some kind of like birthday party clown or some shit? That's funny, man. But I don't know. I don't think it could be her father though.
No,
we'll see.
Yeah, that's the point.
Maybe
though.
we'll get a sequel.
It is kind of weird.
Could it be that Satan was her father?
Satan is her father.
I still think that
is the Antichrist.
Maybe.
As a pulp like story, detective story, this is cool. Like as a more like sensible like plot, it makes no sense to me that like this chick would be allowed to be a fed with her like fucked up home house and her mom and all that.
90s, bro. It's the 90s, bro.
Hey, you gotta stroke the sensible. You gotta stroke
yeah, give him a little flick.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the father angle.
You pinch and roll. That's what it is.
All right, so
I don't know. Yeah.
Last minute thoughts about Longlegs before we sign off.
Yeah, we've been on for a while, huh?
Rolling.
I liked this movie. I think a lot of the things people said though about it being scary or fuck what anyone else says about this being like some kind of great like horror or anything like that. Like it's a cool suspense movie. It's literally like fucking watching a Law and Order episode. And so then, which is good. Like those are good, but like
they're fun.
Exactly. Only in that context. Anything else, it's like no. This movie did not need to be an hour 40 minutes. It could have been like
Bryce, go.
I don't know if it's like Law and Order. I don't know. Maybe
SVU.
Like boom, boom. It's like in the
last thoughts
in the criminal justice system, crimes that are considered satanic are considered.
Yeah.
Bryce, last thoughts on Longlegs.
I don't know. I enjoyed it, man. I just feel like if you separate all the hype bullshit, but that's the thing, man. Like every fucking movie nowadays, you have to do that. I want to go see Cuckoo. I think Cuckoo's already getting a little hyped up, and I don't like that.
No.
Maybe
pay attention.
But the trailers do look really interesting. I'm thinking it's going to be some kind of like animal experimentation shit. It's gonna be like Island of Dr. Moreau.
I'm gonna have that shit in my head,
Yeah, that's right. It's gonna be like Island of Dr. Moreau here, baby. Where I'm telling you right now,
and I don't want that shit in my head.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you right now. Somebody fucked a rooster, or like a chicken, and then we got the cuckoo girl, and then she's there like getting people. I don't know.
I just feel like if you don't take it with a grain of salt in terms of like all the hype and shit, you will enjoy this movie because I did. I really thought it was great. I haven't seen anything like it recently coming out. I don't know. I mean, I liked it.
It's a cool indie film. For real.
Definitely, man.
It is very representative of I think of indie cinema.
Mm-hmm.
Which, funnily enough, a lot of fucking Nicolas Cage's movies end up kind of like falling into that category.
I'll just say this: I hope Osgood Perkins continues to make movies because I like his stuff. I
agree. Yeah.
I like Black Coat's Daughter. I like this one. I don't know if you know this, Roland, but he was he was a fucking actor in Legally Blonde.
Really?
Yeah, he was a nerdy kid that she helps out get laid. Yeah. Anyways, I thought that was
Ray, I only watched Legally Blonde that one time, way the fuck back when you were living in Edinburgh.
And dude, I don't even remember that. I blocked it out.
It was we watched it because it was movie night, and one of our friends, girlfriends at the time, was like, all right, my turn to pick. And we're like, all right, let's do this. And she picked Legally Blonde, and we ended up liking it, and she just laughed at us for it because she's like, I knew you'd like it. And I was like, this is so fucking stupid. Yeah. We were like, how dare you?
All right, so like last thoughts on Longlegs. I loved it. I thought it was great. It shot well. I'm a big fan of Osgood Perkins. I liked. I really, really liked Black Coat's Daughter. It has that very moody kind of element to it, and this does as well.
Dude, he was in Not Another Teen Movie.
Yeah,
I don't know about that, but
this is dorky.
Hey, David. But just going back real quick, man. You're saying his name. The fucking name of Longlegs, the killer of his actual real name is Osgood. His last name is Osgood, which I thought was strange.
Cobble. right? Osgood.
Nah, his last name's Osgood. I don't know what the rest of the name is.
I'm pretty sure it was straight up Cobble. Like
maybe I don't know.
I'm mostly bullshitting, but not really.
Putting Danny DeVito in there too.
All right, so again, last of it. I really like Longlegs. Check it out in the theaters if you can.
That's the wrong movie, right?
Because this is the kind of movie that you need to check out in the cinema.
Yeah, right? I agree.
If any other movie comes along, like this is one of those ones that you need to like really examine on the big screen.
Yeah, I know. Like this totally looks really fucking great in the theater. I would totally recommend it.
I love how the red fucking slides for my fucking eyeballs. And shit,
the intro,
I was like looking at it, and then when it changed, the screen was like the letters were still there and shit. I was like,
yeah, the screen gets larger. I'm like, okay, fuck my eyes.
We've been going out. We probably could go on a little bit longer for this movie, but like, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and check out any one of the videos that you see on screen. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Laters.
Hail Satan!
Hail Satan!
A horse. Satanic.